Hello and welcome to another video or episode, depending on whether you're watching or listening. So today I thought we'd unpack Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So this is a foundational piece of educational psychology for forest school. And the basic idea, and you've probably come across it before, but I thought we'd just take a look at really nuts and bolts how we interact with it and why it is a foundational piece of educational psychology. So the basic idea is that we have certain categories of need, and unless we have the base of the pyramid, the essential needs fulfilled, we can't move up to the next layer. So if you imagine this pyramid, or look up one of Maslow's little diagrams, you'll see that at the bottom we're talking about basic physiological needs. So that is keeping our body in homeostasis. So it's making sure we are not too hot, too cold, too hungry, too wet, too dry, and that we are feeling well taken care of. So it's making sure that we're not hungry, we're not thirsty, all of those basic physiological needs. And that's kind of the bottom tier. Then you move up to safety. So that is feeling safe and secure, that you aren't in any immediate danger, either real or as in physical danger that could happen, or just mental damage, like for example being made fun of for something. That sense of safety. And then when you have those bottom two layers squared away, then you can start working on sense of being part of something, belonging to a group, that kind of community level. And then you move up to the level where you can start to achieve and create things. And then at the highest level, once you're secure in your ability to achieve and create things, then you can achieve self-actualization, which is where you are achieving your true potential. And if you work with anyone, chances are your goal is to get people to that tip of that pyramid. But you have to go through the bottom levels first. You know as well as I do that if you're hungry, tired, and cold, then you're going to struggle to really be the best person you can be for those people. We talked about in a recent episode, like what to do when you're that low energy, as like bring the level that we're hoping to reach down. If the children you're working with have really terrible home lives, they're not going to jump straight into self-actualization, to an activity that encourages them to reach their full potential. They might not even make it really up to that belonging to a group. Your entire session may just be concerned with those first two levels of the pyramid, because those are important, those are critical. You have to start at the bottom and work your way up. And that means, cool, we do a lot of this anyway. So if you want those basic physiological needs met, then it starts with making sure that everyone's got the right clothing, equipment, and all of that, so that when they're outside, even if it's wet, even if it's cold, even if it's really hot, that they'll still be able to control that and remain comfortable. And it means providing food and water, so snacks and something to drink. That's the basics. I would bet everyone listening to this podcast does those things. But it's important to think our way through this process. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, but what if they still get cold? Or what if they haven't been provided with the right equipment? Can we bring extra stuff? Can we bring extra blankets, extra hot water bottles? Can we have a fire going? These are all comfort things. Can we create a space where there's somewhere to cool down? Do we have, instead of a thermos full of hot water, have a thermos full of cold water when it gets really warm? And we know that some people might be struggling with thermoregulation. It's getting those squared away. But in general, we're good at that. We know what to do. We're working outside, so we can then think about the next side, and that's safety and security. Now, the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about security is very much, okay, are there immediate dangers from people around, or from pitfalls or broken limbs and all that sort of stuff? If it feels unsafe, then we're going to struggle to move to any other level. But this is also about social safety and security. At the moment, there's a real problem around having a fear of failure, that a lot of children almost don't start something because they might be able to fail at it, or they have extreme reactions to not being able to do something. And it's important to make sure we've created a space where failure is an option, or for those who can take it, but it might be through differentiation or modifying the environment or the tools or whatever, that we can change, we can make sure that some achievement is possible, that the sense of security is there, that the people around me will take care of me, that there is no massive danger, that the space they're in is free of that, of those really big dangers, the worries. So that is all about reassurance. It's all about building that trust. And this kind of feeds into the next tier as well, when we talk about belonging. But it's them having a trust with you, and you building that relationship so that they know you have their best interests at heart. You aren't going to make fun of them for not being able to do things. You're not going to stand them up in front of the class or whatever and make fun of what they have made or what they have done. You'd think this would be basic, but all too often this does. I wouldn't say outdoor leaders generally really good at this, but I've seen and heard it in classrooms where someone is made an example of, and that removes that sense of safety and security and means you can't head up to the next level. And the next level is all about belonging, feeling like you can be part of the group. And this is where you can start building those teamwork activities, cooperation, all of the things that Forest School does wonderfully with tools and with shelter building and all of that. It starts building that. But the important thing to think about is you need those other tiers. So if you have a new group and you lead straight in with team games, there may be people in there who do not feel safe and secure enough to even begin to develop that attachment to others and the ability to work as part of a group, because you've got to create the safe space first before they can then move in to working with others and being more of themselves within the group. So once you've achieved that sense of belonging, so as I said, team games, bringing them into things, including things, partner activities, collaboration, starting to develop that empathy for others, then we can move up the scale to the minimum we want people to be at our sessions. The one thing that we really want for them is we want them to be able to achieve, to be able to do things, to be creative. But you've got to have all of those before. I keep coming back to it. You've got to make sure the pyramid is solid before you move, before you have expectations of this level. You've got to make sure that, okay, do they feel like they can Have they met all of the needs? Are they warm? Are they well fed? Are they feeling safe, secure, looked after? Do they have friends and people they trust around them? Then the recipe for achievement is there, and you will see it happen without you really having to push very much. It'll move onwards, and that way, once they're secure in all of that, we can then create that upwards trajectory. And once people have achievement under their belt, once they've built that self-confidence, that self-esteem, which is what this level is all about. It's about true self-esteem. I have purpose. I know what my role is. Yes, that's when we can really head up to that highest potential and go, okay, what are we doing next? What is my best thing that I can do here? Recognizing within ourselves what we are good at and what we can achieve at, and also what we're not as good at. And we're achieving our highest potential. As I said, that's always the goal. But you've got to have those achievements under your belt. You've got to build that confidence first before you can relax enough to realize that you don't have to be great at everything, but you are, each and every one of you is fantastic at something. And self-actualization is realizing what that is. So, if you want Maslow's hierarchy of needs summed up, look after children and don't expect heights from those that haven't achieved the base. Work on the base and work your way up. Excellent. Well, don't forget that if you are looking to make tarp shelters way less of a struggle and learn all sorts of knots and things while doing it, check out my Essential Tarps course. I've got all the details in the description below and at brackenoutdoors.com/essential tarps. So do check that out. With that, thank you so much for watching and listening. Remember to make the most of every day.